Are you ready to dive into a world filled with a series of horrors? Two killers work together in a ghost face mask and murder a town full of young adults. The stabs, the scare, and the near deaths. Every scene starts with the death of at least two people before heating up. In this video, we will explore some really cool behind-the-scenes facts about the Scream franchise. Stay tuned till the end as we uncover some fascinating details that happened backstage. The filmmakers decided to pay homage to all the previous movie franchises. Big narrative revelations in Scream 6 unveiled a big shrine for the new Ghostface killer. This shrine is filled with items that are hard to notice and connected to Ghostface killings in the previous franchise. This includes Steve Orr's Letterman jacket, Tatum Riley's outfit, and Stu's red robe. Close to a glass case, there are some items like Nancy Loomis's outfit and Woodsboro officer's uniform. Before the movie was produced, the ghost mask used in the movie was inspired by a piece of artwork called The Scream. At the point of production, the director had no idea how the design should be. Fortunately, the producer found a face mask laying around in one of the filming locations. This is the mask that is seen in all the Scream movies. For the first 15 minutes into the movie, Drew Barrymore put in 5 days of work, putting all of the yellings and gasping into a small amount of time. During production, the prop master forgot to unplug the phone before filming the scene where Drew Barrymore's character frantically calls 911 to escape Ghostface. Barrymore called 911 on the prop phone and screamed in pain and terror before disconnecting as director Wes Craven cut. A police car eventually turned up at the set before the whole situation was settled. It actually took 5 days to shoot Drew Barrymore's opening scene, and she insisted that her tears should be as real as possible.
Answer the question and I will.
Since Barrymore is an animal lover, director Wes Craven tried to help her by telling horrifying tales of animal abuse to make her cry. She was in tears while describing a newspaper article about a dog whose owner burned it on fire to the director before the filming began. Eventually, the director used the phrase, "I'm lighting the match," as a trigger word to force her to display the same reaction on camera. In the movie scenes, Barrymore ran around the set and became exhausted while gasping for air. Right from the start, the working title of Scream was always Scary Movie. Wes Craven's cast and crew were instructed to change it by Miramax's Bob Weinstein and infamous producer Harvey Weinstein. They were motivated by a song sung by Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson. Initially, the team wasn't thrilled about the change at first, but they eventually admitted they couldn't think of using any other title. Jenna Ortega is well recognized for her work in the Netflix series Wednesday, but she has also gained recognition for her roles in horror films. Dr. Stone's office contained a number of figurines, including several that portrayed the complete Addams family, which Sam could see while he was in treatment. During the frat party, a young woman dressed as Wednesday Addams passed by for Halloween. This is simply a reference to the Addams family character. It should come as no surprise that the genre director is mentioned in Scream 6.
It's Halloween, everybody's wearing masks.
Tara, this isn't a coincidence.
The movie does a lot of groundwork to show Jason as a devoted thriller movie fan. The name of the third installment in Dario Argento's Four Flies on Grey Velvet can be seen plainly as day on Jason Carvey's shirt. During a frantic phone call,
Warmer.
we can see 4 flies perching on a gray velvet. Have you ever wondered how Williamson got the concept for Scream? After seeing news reports about the Gainesville Ripper, who in 1990 murdered 5 students in Florida during a burglary spree, the movie creator had all the inspiration he needed. One day, he found a window open in his house, and this further increased his concern over the possibility of harmful invaders. With all these in mind, Williamson eventually penned an 18-page script about a young woman who was threatened over the phone by a deranged man, who then kills her at her house while wearing a mask. In order to prevent injuries while filming stabbings on site, collapsible knives were used on set. In one scene, Sidney Prescott attacks Billy Loomis with an umbrella in the finale, but Ulrich is given a vest to wear for extra security. The umbrella also has a retractable point. Eventually, Campbell not only missed Ulrich's protective vest, but she also struck him in an old heart surgery wound. In the end, you can see Ulrich's real pain in the movie's final edit as he responds to the stabbing in the scene. In order to spice up a 30-page part of the script where no murders took place, Bob Weinstein assigned Williamson to kill off another character in the movie. It leads to the moment when the school's headmaster is murdered in his office. Prior to the movie's final scene, the majority of the students left Stu Macher's home party because of this murder in order to check out a story that Principal Himbry had been killed by being hung from the goalpost on the football field. While producing Ghostface, he originally planned to wear an all-white outfit to give the impression that he was a ghost. After preparing the outfit in a white mask and white robe, the producers decided that the character looked too much like a Ku Klux Klan member and switched to a white mask and black robe. While filming, Melissa experienced a dangerous moment on the Scream set. Right on set, a mixture of rubber and real knives were used throughout the shoot. Most times, the rubber knife was used, but when they would get closer, they would switch it out for the real knife. At one point, the gloves that Ghostface wears were slippery. So, while filming a sequence, the knife flew out of his hand and hit the window right behind her. Unfortunately, it was a real knife, and everyone got so freaked out. Luckily, it went a little off to the side, so they had to glue the knife to the glove so that it didn't happen again. In the violent opening of Scream 1, the legendary director wears the scary mask and gown to mercilessly butcher Casey Becker. In the process, Craven was hurt while playing her role. In an entirely unscripted action, Barrymore hits Craven in the face with the telephone at the moment as Drew turns around to face her doom through one of the living room windows, and the killer breaks through the pane of glass to reach her. Since it looked nice in the end, they decided to keep the scene in the final cut of the movie. In one scene in the movie, the number 707-105-1939 was dialed. The hidden significance of Wes's phone number was something you might not have recognized. The Woodsboro characters all have the same area code, which is 707 for the region of Northern California, where Woodsboro is located. As a matter of fact, Wes Craven was born in 1939. The subject of Craven's birthday still comes up once again in the Stab movie with the code 8021939. According to the American date format of month, day, and year, it symbolized August 2, 1939, the day Wes Craven was born. Shortly after escaping the initial attack, Tara is recuperating in a hospital bed as an episode of Dawson's Creek is played on television. It's a nice tribute to Kevin Williamson, who wrote the 90s teen drama as well as Scream. The Dawson's Creek actors Scott Foley and Joshua Jackson have both made appearances in the Scream movies. In Scream 3, Foley was the director Roman Bridger, and in Scream 2, Jackson played a fellow student in Randy's film class. In Scream 6, the moment where Chad and Ghostface have a fairly unpleasant encounter is nice for a reason. He appears to be wearing a jacket from Woodsboro High School that is nearly identical to the one worn by Stephen Orth, the tragic boyfriend of Casey Becker in the memorable beginning of the first Scream movie. At one point, the producers decided to film in California. The real Santa Rosa High School was to serve as the setting for the fictional Woodsboro High School. But when parents, teachers, and the local media discovered about the nature of the movie, they were against it. They believed the account of the gruesome killing of teens was too close to a murder of a teen that actually occurred 3 years earlier, so it would actually be inappropriate to make a movie there. As an alternative, the Simona Community Center was eventually used to film the school sequences. In the special thanks part of the end credits, Wes Craven inserted the following message: "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa City School District Governing Board." Are you wondering why the house in Scream 3 looks familiar? There are significant universal connections between Wes Craven's Scream franchise and Steve Miner's iconic Halloween. This is because they are well known for being extreme about the slasher part of the horror movie. Also, the school in Halloween H2O and the house in Scream 3 were both filmed in the same location. Now, you've discovered some events that happened behind the scenes in the Scream franchise. I hope you liked the video. Feel free to leave a remark if you have any recommendations for videos. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks once again.